Hi, how are you doing? Hope you all have been doing well. I know it's been the longest time since I returned, and I have just gotten so busy with the current state of COVID, and suddenly there's such an uprise awareness of mental well-being, and which has obviously increased my workload. But somehow I thought this topic that I conducted a webinar on today was very, very important, and therefore I took out some time to make a video so all of you can understand and learn how to spot the early signs of emotional downtime, a mental illness like stress, anxiety, or depression. But before we get into that, I am Kamil Nair, your life coach, psychotherapist, and a published author. It's my job to coach you to get better, and that is what I'm doing here. Sorry, my apologies to you if you are waiting too long for a video. Now that I'm here, let's get down to discussing this bit. So, how does one spot the early signs of a mental imbalance? The mental imbalance can be corrected or can be understood by interpreting whether the person, you yourself, or someone like a loved one or a peer or a colleague, is either suffering through anxiety, stress, or depression. Now, how are each of these different? Very simple. If you are stressed out, then you and your stress levels are only going to last as far as or as long as the stressor is part of your life. For example, if you have a deadline and if you have to submit a project, so till the time your deadline hasn't arrived and you haven't submitted, there is going to be some amount of stress playing out in your life. And the moment you submit your project, your stressor is over, you're relaxed, and therefore this stress is manageable. If you are someone who is suffering from this kind of a stress, which is very momentary, situation to situation or event to event, then you're doing quite well. Give a pat on your back, you're safe, your mental well-being is positive. But now, if this mental stress which arises from an event doesn't stop there after the cessation of the event or the situation, but continues, which means the stressor doesn't exist. There is no stress of an event or a submission or a deadline, but you're still constantly worried about that particular event, what the outcome is going to be, how is my effort going to be perceived, did I do it right, did I do it wrong. If that is the case, then probably you are suffering from anxiety. Now, another sign is that anxiety can never exist in the present. Anxiety is always going to be oscillating between the past and the future. You're either going to worry about what's going to happen because you did a something or did a certain thing, or because you have a negative conditioning, because something like this happened in the past, you're going to assume that this is going to happen again. I'm sorry, my daughter just dropped something, so I'm telling her not to. All right, now moving on to depression. What a depression is. Depression is assuming an impending doom has taken place in your life, where you feel that there is no motivation, there is no reason for you to live, there is nothing to look forward to, and this causes a significant impairment in your life. This is depression. Depression doesn't oscillate between the past and the future. It simply is put in a manner where if you start feeling that something catastrophic or impending has taken place in your life, which causing your life to be lifeless or hopeless, then you could be suffering from depression. The magnitude of depression will differ from person to person. Similarly, the magnitude of anxiety will also differ from person to person. And therefore, it's very important to take note of these early signs or early cases in your loved ones, within your family, in your friend circle, or if you are suffering from any of these. Now, what causes these three impairments? Your stress, your anxiety, and depression. The only one thing that causes all of this is your thoughts. How you perceive an event, how you perceive a person, or how you perceive your life. If you're a person who is often thinking negative thoughts, these thoughts are going to cause you to feel negative feelings. And once you start feeling negative feelings, it's going to lead you to have a negative reaction. Say, for example, if you have a person, a boss who's very demanding, but you often fear this person hasn't done anything to you, but you just have an impression that this person is very demanding, and therefore whenever you have a submission or a work deadline to accomplish, you often fear or you feel that your work will be perceived less. This thought causes a discomforting feeling, and this feeling causes many reactions like palpitations, sweating, perspiring, panic attacks, anxiety attacks. And if these things go unchecked, unnoticed, then it's going to cause some other serious mental imbalance like depression or many other such issues. Therefore, it's very important to correct your thought. Get positive, start smiling, and the most important aspect of becoming positive is to feel positive, and the way I do it is in every negative situation, I look out for at least one positive. And that has actually changed my life because I have now become a positive thinker from being a very, very negative person. Well, it has taken effort, but the effort, if put in the right direction, can really bring about a change. So try and look out for a positive in every negative. I can't tell you enough how important a schedule is. So try and stick to a schedule, make a simple schedule which includes an act of passion, which means something that you really like to do, enjoy to do, like a hobby or something. Include that for at least 20 minutes. Exercise for at least 20 minutes, and do something with your family for at least 20 minutes. If you did these three things, the game is going to change for you. You're going to be completely happy, excited, and there's going to be something to look forward to. And if you have any more questions, feel free to drop me an email at coachcarmel@gmail.com, or visit my site www.carmelnair.com. Learn to spot the early signs of a mental imbalance. And well, with that, I end the session and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.